A convicted Capitol rioter who was convicted on misdemeanor charges for their involvement of the events of January 6th is now suing CNN for defamation. Because even though the rioter, as I said, was convicted, so I guess by definition that does make them a Capitol rioter, CNN engaged in probably one of the worst journalistic blunders I think I've ever seen. So here's what happened. You had this Capitol rioter who basically, they were charged with, sentenced to 2 years of probation, ordered to complete 60 hours of community service. He pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor count of parading, demonstrating, or picketing in a Capitol building. Okay, so basically that amounts to nothing more than like trespassing. You know, yes, you were there, you were parading, picketing, or what have you, and so we're going to hit you with probation, do some community service, and you're good to go. You weren't violent. You weren't knocking people out. You weren't stealing stuff. We didn't catch you breaking anything. You were just there. So here's your sentence. And the guy said, sure, misdemeanor charges, I'm guilty. Go ahead. So, and by the way, I think I said convicted earlier. Obviously, he pleaded guilty, so that's what it is. He pleaded guilty to these misdemeanor charges. Now, CNN decided to run a headline that says, U.S. Capitol Police officer indicted on obstruction of justice charges in connection with January 6th. They then went on to say that he engaged in felonious criminal activity of which he was not charged or... Oh, I'm sorry, that was from the legal complaint. They also claimed, CNN did, that he wanted to start a revolution. And of course, that he had been charged with obstruction of justice. CNN failed basic journalistic practices trying to target this specific individual that had pleaded guilty to this misdemeanor charge. And here's what gets me about this. CNN didn't need to do that. I mean, you didn't need to try to make this guy look bad. He already admitted, yeah, I was there, I did this, I participated in people walking into the Capitol, okay? There are far worse things and people that happened that day than, you know, the random people who got, you know, caught up in it and did go in there, and sure, they should face justice, and this man did. But CNN said, oh, it's obstruction of justice, you know, they wanted to start a revolution. They also apparently suggested that he had been hit with felony charges, which of course is completely untrue. He's going to win his defamation lawsuit. Like 100%, there is no way he is going to lose this suit. And CNN deserves it. Now, the reason I'm even telling this story today is because we get a lot of people all the time in the comments. I get them on social media. I get emails like, why are you saying alleged? Why are you not calling this person a criminal? It's because legally you can't do that. Like, that is one of the basic tenets of defamation, slander, libel laws, is you cannot accuse somebody of committing a crime. You cannot call them a criminal unless they have been convicted or, of course, pleaded guilty. Like, that is defamation 101. Everybody in this business knows that. CNN has been doing this longer than literally anyone else, and they still flubbed it for no reason. If you wanted to run a story about some of the worst Capitol rioters out there, the ones beating the hell out of police officers, you should have done that. You didn't even have to make this person into a story, but you did it anyway for clicks and shares and likes. And now it's going to cost you big time because you, as far as I can see, totally just made stuff up. And this person's going to walk away with a lot of cash when this is all said and done. Thanks for watching, everyone. And well, here comes the awkward part at the end of the video where I ask you to like, comment, and share, and subscribe for more content from Ring of Fire. Also, you should consider becoming a member for some exclusive content and perks, including early access videos and exclusive videos. Check out the link in the description.